G'day guys and welcome back to another video on the channel, and in today's video it is that time of year again. We're getting back into the footy spirit. We're going to be kicking off the AFL tipping for this year. Round 1 is right around the corner, so what better way to get into the content than to hop on ESPN and complete my tips for round 1 of the 2023 AFL season. So keen for the season to begin. Sorry for getting this video out a little bit later than I would have hoped to. However, before we get into today's video, make sure to leave a like, also drop a sub if you haven't already. We're trying to have an absolute huge year on the channel, and if you haven't subscribed, it would help a lot if you could do so. Into the footy tipping, how bloody good does this feel? That is for sure. We've got a few very exciting matchups up our sleeve to kick us off in the round 1 spirit. We're going to be starting off with the Thursday night clash between Richmond and Carlton, the usual start of the season matchup on the Thursday night, 7:20 p.m. at the MCG. This is absolutely huge, and both teams are really similar at the moment. Obviously, Carlton having a lot of high expectations going into this 2023 season, and Richmond, well, they're just always up there. They just always play a nice competitive brand of footy, and at their home deck, the MCG, they're just very difficult to beat, and I feel like they're a difficult team to overcome, especially for Carlton. Obviously, Carlton did get the job done against the Tigers this time last year in their opening clash. However, I just don't feel like that's going to happen. I feel like it could be a very good tight game. However, Carlton, look, it could really go either way. It could really go either way, and I wouldn't be surprised if the Tigers win it, and I wouldn't be surprised if the Blues win it. So, look, I genuinely think Richmond just have a little bit more in them, and look, I've really got to start my tipping off well this year. Carlton would be probably a safe bet, but so would Richmond. It's genuinely a 50-50. Whoever I tip, you don't know who's going to win. I'm going to go the Tigers, and I'm going to tip the Tigers to get it done by 11 points. A bit of a close margin. I feel like the margin could extend a bit further out, though, if the Blues aren't bloody careful, that's for sure. Because I feel like if Richmond just get a hold of Carlton, that they're just going to run away with an easy victory. However, I'll keep it low, 11 points, just in case the Blues do somehow get over the line. And yeah, bloody hell, first round, first game. I'm going to be tipping the Tigers to get up. Moving on to the Friday night clash, and probably the most exciting game of the round. We've got the Geelong Cats and the Collingwood Football Club. MCG, Friday night, 7:40 p.m. It's just somewhere that you want to be, and you just cannot miss this game no matter where you are. It's going to be an absolute classic. Geelong coming off the back of a premiership, and Collingwood coming off the back of an absolute huge, outstanding year, unexpected year as well. And I genuinely could see this one going either way as well. We saw these two teams match up in the first week of finals last year, and Geelong were able to get over the line by just one kick of the pill, 6 points, 78 played 72. That was an absolutely brilliant game to be able to go to. The atmosphere was insane, the fans were loud, everything was just absolutely insane about that matchup, and being there in person to experience it was absolutely elite. Look, I really want to back in the Pies. I definitely do like Collingwood over the Cats. I'm also hoping to go to this game, so not 100% sure yet. However, they might be a matchday vlog out on the Saturday or the Sunday for this Collingwood-Geelong Friday night clash. However, I'm going to back in the Pies to get it done. I just don't want to write off the Cats because I know that they're going to bring fight, and I know that they can easily win this game. But first two games of the season are both 50-50s. Look, I struggled tipping Richmond, but I'm going to do so. And I'm also going to be tipping the Pies to get up by, let's say, 4 points. Let's make it a close, action-packed thriller at the G on the Friday night. And hopefully both teams just bring their 100% efforts, obviously off the back of a huge preseason for both clubs, and two of the best clubs in the league at the moment as well. So it's going to be an absolute brilliant one to hopefully be able to go to. An absolute brilliant one just to watch on the telly at home. Moving on to the Saturday matchups, 1:45 p.m. we have North Melbourne and West Coast. Well, just literally the most irrelevant matchup you can possibly get. North West Coast, Marvel Stadium at 1:45 p.m. There's going to be a crowd attendance of about 84, and that does include James Mardo on the bloody Friars back there as well. Look, you would definitely assume West Coast to get up in this one. However, can North just somehow produce an upset first week of the season? It would be really hard to write off the Eagles, and considering it's going to be very hot, I'm going to really get into detail with these Saturday games. Considering it's going to be 35 degrees in the city on Saturday, I just feel like the Eagles adapt more to the heat, and as they are obviously located in WA, so they have the advantage of being able to train in the heat and get really used to that hot weather. So look, and it's just, I know North home venue, come on, I just can't tip them. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be tipping the Eagles to get this done by 27 points. Pretty comfortable, cruisy victory for the West Coast Eagles at Marvel Stadium. Just feel like they're going to adapt to the extreme heat down in Melbourne on the Saturday, and I feel like they will just cruise away from the North Melbourne Kangaroos. However, North, don't get me wrong, I reckon they do have a shout in this game as well. Moving on to the next game on the Saturday, 4:35 p.m, we can see the Port Adelaide Power take on the Brisbane Lions at Adelaide Oval. This one's going to be an interesting one. However, straight off the bat, I'm just going to tip the Lions to get this done by 33 points. I just feel like it's one of those games where Brisbane will just accelerate right from the get-go, and they'll be up by 5 goals at quarter time, and they'll just be chasing ass the Power from quarter time onwards, pretty much from the first bounce onwards. I can just see that happening. I don't think Port are going to be having the most outstanding season, as I did show in my season predictions. Don't think they're going to have the most outstanding season, and I feel like Brisbane are really up there, premiership contenders, and they're going to be one of the most dangerous sides in the league. So I'm going to tip them to get it done by a cruisy and whopping 33 points down in Adelaide. Moving on to the Saturday night games, we've got the Melbourne Demons taking on the Western Bulldogs. Saturday night footy at the G. How bloody good is this? Now, the hot weather definitely would have cooled down by this time of the bounce. I just feel like the D's have an upper edge in this one. I feel like the Dogs could be a bit washed up at the moment, and I just don't really see them getting it done. They've got the players, they've got a decent list, they've got a lot of tools that they can use. However, I just feel like the D's are more adaptable, better chemistry, better all-round just team, and yeah, success as well over the past couple of years. The Bulldogs were lucky to scrape into the final series last year, and they were able to somehow choke a 40-point lead to the Dockers in the first week of finals, which saw them obviously get kicked out. However, at the G, I'm going to be backing in the Melbourne Demons to get this one done. I feel like this could get a bit ugly for the Dogs, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to tip the D's to get it done by 49 points in a bit of a whopping, definitely the biggest margin yet I've tipped. I'm going to tip them to get it done by 49. You'd think it's just one of those games that are close. However, I feel like the D's are just way too outstanding, and right from the get-go, they're just going to go bang, 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 and the Dogs can't keep up, similar to the game that I just predicted out of Port Adelaide and Brisbane. However, the D's are just going to be dominating all throughout the night, and I just don't see the Doggies having the capability to keep up with the D's on the Saturday night. Last game on the Saturday, we head up actually to Metricon Stadium, which has a new name, Heritage Bank Stadium. Still going to call it Metricon because I'm not going to say Heritage Bank Stadium. Metricon Stadium, 8 p.m, Gold Coast, Sydney. I feel like this could be actually an interesting matchup, and I'm genuinely going to tip the Suns to get this one done straight away. I'm going to tip the Suns to get it done by 16 points. A very close, scrappy game. Not sure what the weather's going to be up there, but I feel like the Suns can just play really well at Metricon Stadium at their home deck, and they were able to somehow outlast the Swans last season at the SCG as well, so I genuinely think they've got a chance. I feel like the Swans could be in the mud after last year's huge grand final deficit loss. However, I'm going to be backing in the Suns to get this one done in a huge upset up on the Gold Coast. Moving on to the Sunday games now, we head to Giants Stadium for a 1:10 p.m. bounce down between the GWS Giants and the Adelaide Crows. I feel like the Giants should get this one done at their home deck. However, I'm feeling an upset from the Crows somehow. I know it probably won't happen. GWS are a pretty difficult team to beat at their home deck, and definitely against just like this really really poor quality side in the Crows. However, GWS are just going to be poor quality as well this year, so it's really a 50-50 either way. I should back the Giants in, as they do usually perform pretty well on their home deck and in their home venue. However, I'm going to actually go and upset in the Adelaide Crows. I'm going to tip the Crows to get it done by 8 points, and I'm just going to see what they can somehow pull out of their arse, the Crows. I would know the Giants are probably going to get it done, but really, I love tipping my upsets. If you are new to the channel, I tip a lot of upsets. Already tipped a few this round. I reckon the Crows are going to get up. Moving on to the second last game of the round, we can head over to the MCG, where we see Hawthorn take on the Essendon Football Club, 3:20 PM, prime time on a Sunday, and against two huge Victorian clubs. Definitely going to pull in a big crowd on the Sunday arvo. Essendon, obviously under their new coach, are just hoping to make a statement early in the season. And Hawthorn, well, after a bit of a rebuild, I feel like they're still just in those closing stages of the rebuild. However, I think they're going to have a bit of a leap this year. I'm going to back in the Hawks to get it done. However, Essendon probably do have the upper hand and probably do have the odds in this one to get it done. However, I'm going to be tipping the Hawthorn Hawks to get it done at the G. Home ground. However, obviously both teams' home ground is at the G. However, Hawthorn do have a home game in this scenario, and I reckon the Hawks will get it done by 1 point. I'm going to tip them to get it done by 1 point, just in case the Bombers do get up. I feel like Essendon do have a chance of getting up, do have a very good chance of getting up, so I'm going to tip the Hawks by 1 point. Obviously not a big margin, but that's why, just so, you know, hopefully we can see an absolute thriller on our hands. And I feel like if there is going to be a thriller this round, obviously we see Geelong and Collingwood face off, that's going to be a thriller. And probably Hawthorn and Essendon too, just because they're both pretty poor sides at the moment in the league, so I feel like they can just have a real high scoring event and make a real good game out of this. We can see the St Kilda Saints take on the Freo Dockers at Marvel Stadium, 4:40 PM bounce down, and I hope to be making my way down to Melbourne for this match. Sucks how they're playing 4:40 on a bloody Sunday, because I do have school on the Monday, so I've got to bloody get down. I'm going to try and make a way, try and figure out a way to get down, because cannot be missing any games played in Melbourne this year. However, I genuinely feel like we're going to get it done quite comfortably. I don't see St Kilda really coming out and showing something. I feel like it's going to be a similar result to when we played them last year at Marvel Stadium later on in the year. I feel like we're just going to run away from them. I'm going to tip us to get it done by 46 points, which is a pretty hefty margin. And look, probably is getting a bit ahead of myself, I'm not going to lie. However, I just feel like we've got something to prove, and we have just something more than we did last year within the squad. Saints home deck, and they definitely do have a chance of getting this done. However, it's either going to be, I feel like, a flogging to Freo's way, which I'm going to predict, or it could be a very, very tight contest. I just don't see the Saints getting up either way. I feel like Freo win in a close one, or Freo win in a bit of a hefty margin, which I've gone with. I just don't see the Saints being able to, get it done over us. So there's my round one tips. Obviously, if you guys did enjoy it, leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Really, really keen for this year's footy season to start. Have some huge events and huge announcements that I will be announcing probably within the next month. So make sure to stay tuned for that, ladies and gents, and I will see you all in the next video.